Hello YouTube, and I hope you're all doing very well as I wait for people to get in the room. And good day to you all. Strange. Hello Craig, I was just wondering there what the hell was happening. Everyone's fine, all cracking on, my old friend. I hope you're doing all right. Hello Sharon, oh God bless you. How you doing, my love? Are you okay? I hope that headache's gone. I was just wondering if I've done something wrong. Just wondering there. But by God, there's a lot to speak about tonight, I think, guys. Good, Sharon. Good, that's good. Yeah, to take up my flowers, Sharon. My garden's ruined. So what do you two think today about the hostages being released? Any opinions? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, Sharon. I'm going to have a day out there tomorrow, just weather permitting. I'm just going to clear the whole lot up and weed the whole lot and get prepped for next year. Might try some, grow some fancy stuff if I can. Some food stuff would be nice. But I've been watching the farmer on the opposite field there grafting all day, bless his cotton socks. What a grafter. He still won't let me have a crack at his tractor. Yeah, that's it, Sharon. Because if I've noticed now in the mornings there's a bit of a frost anyway, so they would not have last. But it's just a shame because some of them was just like flowering. But hey ho. So we're in on 5 minutes and there's one purple person showing in the room. One thumbs up. Oh my God, we're getting big time. So give it a couple of more minutes and who's ever still in the room and then we're just was it easy, Sharon, doing that? So we get a couple of minutes and then we just crack on. I mean, I'd even plough the field if they showed me how to do it. I'd do it free of charge. No, I don't want nothing. I'd gladly do it. but they don't like taking help. I've offered to help out here, there, and everywhere. Yeah, it is about time. Is that with the hostages, Craig? Oh, you loved it, bless. Yeah, I can't wait to get a crack on the tractor. But yeah, Craig, yeah, it is about time. But that's not going to last for long, believe me. I mean, it's funny how them men can all suddenly come out in their uniforms, all marked up, so they can distinguish between citizen and soldier, well, combative. You know what I mean? And the minute it starts kicking off, they hide again behind the women and children. And I don't know whether you noticed on the thingy, but the mass hunger that was going on down there. You know, the mass hunger. I mean, not one of them people on them videos that I saw of all the population there out cheering and celebrating, not one of them looked like they were hungry, did they? You know, and you've still got these idiots on our streets still complaining. What we should do is swoop them all up and send them to Gaza to help rebuild it. But even though our Prime Minister has pledged millions and millions and millions to help rebuild Gaza, and we're 2 trillion in debt, and we're still putting up invaders. And I mean, with those invaders as well, what people don't know, they're sleeper cells. And I tell you this right now, I've been saying it for months and months, okay? And there's more proof coming up at it. And these Afghanis as well, right? They don't like anyone. That's hence why their country is such a shit pit, right? And they are going to come here and they're going to take us from within, well, they're going to try to. And then we've got the mosque thing. You know, where those poor souls got unalived, you know, a couple of weeks ago or the other week. I mean, the day centre opposite, now there's a suspicious substance being found in there. I mean, what's this world coming to? But they'll arrest you if your name's Bacon or you identify yourself as a, you know, oh, I'm from North London and a born and bred Londoner. Well, that's me going to jail. They'll be all over that. So I've never hated and despised this country so much as I do now. I mean, got to watch what I say because I'll be put on the prevent list and I'll overlook all the ISIS guys, you know. But you stand up and talk about it or try to warn people, they just suppress everything, destroy your bloody your social media. I mean, the attacks that I'm getting on by the X is unreal. X is all left, and you know what worries me the most? I'm hoping they're aliases, but the amount of doctors, you know, these doctors should be sniffed out and removed from their position. And believe me, I do not believe half of these foreign doctors, right, that come here can hardly speak English. I've got the right qualifications, and there's been cases recently. Just do your homework. Some have been up against the medical council, and the cases have been proven, but they're still not struck off. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Yeah, sure, but you're fighting back. You got to fight. We can't give up. No way. The next can go and do one. I mean, I go on there just to. I argue back, but what they don't realise, every time they interact, they earn me a couple of pence. Ain't like big money, but it's they pay for the pressure. Yeah, I hope so. And we just hope to see if all those Afghans and Pakistani communities that love it here so much, they're so patriotic, see if they go back and fight. And if I was India, I would attack them from the other side also. And then we'll get some special forces and start from within and destroy Pakistan. That is the worst state on this earth. And I'd say it to their faces as well. I despise them. I despise them all, to be honest. And you can, yeah, I'm racist. That's it. I'll wear it with pride. Now they're trying to say that being patriotic is racist. No. Being patriotic is someone that loves their country, loves their people, loves their identity, their ethnicity. Okay? They're talking about nationalism. And that's how thick and stupid they all are. Totally pee me off. Yeah. I really, I think it's TikTok, to be honest, the time is coming. You know, you're getting all these assholes. When I put up something on X saying, oh, where'd you be hiding in the shed? I go, where am I now? I'm putting myself on off all the time. You know what I mean? I don't get jack shit. I do it all for the love of my people, you know, for my children. Even though certain people keep going on about their children, they're not even the same fucking country. Excuse my French. You know what I mean? Proper men stand for what the values are, proper Christian values. And the time is now, personally, I think time is now is that we've all got to start getting organised and properly. I've been saying it for so long. No one really gives a tinker's fart about it, but they will do when it kicks off. But there again, they'll be cowards. We've been our men folk are so weak, to be honest, so weak. You know, and you try to organise or say things, and it's like you'll be hiding in the shed. You're like, who are you talking about? Oh, yeah, and they're on a faceless account with one follower. But there's supposed to be a clear out on X with all these bots or whatever they are. But it's the left, it's Stalin's mob, the sick individual. And I mean, did you see that report at that news conference? He gets snubbed all the time. He's such a clown. I mean, he's got to go. The whole party's got to go. We're never going to get a bloody total, you know, investigation into the grooming gang scandals because the politicians, the judges, and the old Bill, they're all complicit in it and involved. Yeah, Craig, they are. They all are. They all are. Got some horror stories. I can't say from where from, but whereas like nurses that have been present have had to stop doctors doing what they were doing because they were doing it wrong and totally unqualified, and they're putting us all on offer. And then you've got these ones that don't really want to help people that are non-believers. You know, I don't know whether to get rigged up as a Muslim to go in for my next cancer check just so I could get it done properly. Yeah, but that'll soon be forgotten with the China thing, Sharon. I was looking into that actually earlier, and the only thing that they keep shouting about and on all the platforms is about how reform. One of their councillors was involved, but you know, with Labour and the new super embassy, you know, all the planning permission, what's going on there? He is a proper commie, and we've been infiltrated. And how long do you think it's going to be before, right? The Americans will say it's enough, and they're going to disarm us with our nuclear weapons. And to be honest, I personally wish that America would invade us, and I'm sure that the populace, the majority of us, would join them and help them and get these stupid arseholes and all these wet wipes off the streets, protesting and calling for whatever, the unaliving of people like us. You know what I mean? They all need to be dealt with harshly, no quarter given, stripped of all their assets and deported. And all these illegals need dealt with. I mean, what's going on? If I ever got in power, the first thing I'd do is surround each and every one of them, not with the police, because the police would be totally stood down, everything taken off them, and they'll all be re-vetted. And I'd bring in proper military. I'd get veterans, proper veterans. And those hotels would be flushed out one at a time, searched top to bottom, and each one of them will come in with exactly what they left. Well, they'd leave with exactly what they come in with, just the clothes on their back, and they'd be off. And in France, I'd just put sanctions on them and just say, if you want it, you're going to have it, mate. And I'm sure if the Americans were with us, they'll soon join us because they're all part of an establishment. And I think it's like a big, massive, evil pedo ring, to be honest. But yeah, China's already infiltrated us, and the Islamic commie crap, they all are. So what was that message there, Craig? Another little bloody arsehole dropped on with a few ships worth of comments. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. I mean, they don't trust us. They won't share intel with us. The European Union don't. And I mean, we've got all these. We voted for Brexit to stay a sovereign nation, right? Why ain't it happening? Why aren't these guys that are coming off the boats? Why aren't they lobbed into a prison cell until they got the money or the money supplied for them to be flown home or flown back out of here? You know, I mean, putting them up in hotels, really, that makes my blood boil, especially when we've got homeless people dying on a daily. We've got ex-veterans on the street, and you've still got people that are still, you know, slagging them off. And you even got some that bring up the history of what the soldiers done. They were following orders from Tony Blair, and they're planning to put him in charge of the Middle East. It's all a big scam. Hello, Colin. You just got to have your mate. Listen, you've got to, Colin, you've got to, what I'll do later when we come off this live, I'll put my email address at the top. If not, just go on. You definitely, I've not received a message from you in the DMs. If you've done it right, or if not, put a comment on my last post. Well, I put one there saying, be on tonight at 8 p.m, mate. Whack in a comment now, and I'll get onto your account and I'll DM you. But for God's sake, do not put your number out on any of the platforms, because you know what the idiots are like. You know what I mean? So just let me know, because I've been I honestly, from the day you said that you was going to do that, Sharon, I put a couple of people's numbers in, and they're all okay. I mean, but get you in the group, mate, because I personally think everything's going to go tits up very shortly. So we've got 5 in the room now, hitting the big time. Yeah, Colin. Yeah, he's planning to, Sharon. He's just, we've had a miscommunication with. If you've got a different, I've been looking out for you, but it's a bit more madder on X for me, Colin. I've got like 18,500 people, and I try to interact. I try, but the DMs always go there, and I doubt, unless you've got a different handle on there. If I would have had your number, Colin, I would have put you in the WhatsApp group, mate. Do it again, and make sure it's Lee British Patriot. And I think I've got 18.5 thousand followers. So if you go in there and DM me, right, don't put it a post or anything like that. You could get idiots from all over the world. Heavy breathing, you might enjoy that. I don't know. Oh, I believe you that, Sharon. I'll tell you what, I'd be up for some of that. If I won a few quid, I'd be right up for some of that, to be totally honest. What a joy it would be, eh? What a joy. Bit of peace and quiet and harmony, eh? Oh, yeah. I mean, we've got that budget coming next month, haven't we? Or next, whenever it is. Oh, Rachel from accounts. Oh, God help us all. God help us all. Yeah, Colin, make sure, put it in big capital. Go, Lee, you stupid bugger, here's my number, so I know it's you. But on the DMs, unless you're like an Elon Musk impersonator or a crypto or a brass, I usually do read them, and then I delete. Yeah. They've stopped the live streaming. They've stopped any other YouTubers or anything reporting on the case, right? But only one news group are allowed to report on it, and that's the BBC. The same reporter that's been done for things beforehand is totally unreliable, and it's a total stitch up. It's all a stitch up. Can't you? Everyone is, well, we all know that, but I mean, the whole majority of this stupid ass bloody country don't, and they're not going to realise until something nasty happens, and it's going to happen within the schools. Believe me, I know it is. It's going to happen. That's their MO. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not condoning violence, but it's come to a stage now where we can't really rely on the police. And if it keeps happening, there's only one way to deal with it, and that's give a good hiding. If you've done something wrong as a kid, you learn your lesson and not to do it again when you got told off. You got a good slap. I'm not condoning anything, but I, for one, I would not call the police. I don't call the police. I don't like the police. I don't trust the police. The police are shit. We've got to look after our own. And if that means putting if they're on your property, you've got a right anyway within reason. It's the law. It will be, Sharon. That's why getting that WhatsApp group, and then if anything, it would just save the few and bug out and hold the line somewhere it's a bit safer. And we've got the advantage. Because if you're surrounded in them, I feel sorry for the people that are living amongst it, that are knowing and seeing it, and they're just surrounded. And these guys are just on a daily, all these essays on young ladies and that's really peeing me off. It's like they're trying to make it acceptable. The young lass in Birmingham, did you see that video? She got snatched and all the people on the street just watching. Now, I'm sorry, but me, I can speak wholeheartedly with my pals. If any of my pals were there and we saw that would not have been happening. They would have been confronted straight away with, dealt with, and that little girl, well, luckily she got away. And that's not happening. But they think they could do it now, blasé, because nothing happens to them. But if you demo and try to do it the legal way, what happens? You get put away. You get put away for a couple of years on a Muslim wing. Oh, there, she is a robber. Yeah, some young lass, she was walking up the street and the car pulled up and a couple of our friends, young vulnerable white girl off the street, and everyone just stood there looking. And that's what you're supposed to be thinking, that all of them are peaceful. They ain't all peaceful. They might act peaceful, but secretly they are totally behind it. Yeah, and it's a joke. It's more than a joke. And I tell you what, God help if anyone's got there near my kid, mate. I tell you, God help them. God help them. I wouldn't say much. Well, I ain't going to say much, but they would never be found again. Never. Never. And if the old Bill are watching, thanks for giving me the extra audience. I'll see you in a court of law, you bum bandits. Yeah, you got to keep on your toes, Colin, mate. You got to keep everything locked up and something at hand, because no one will come and help you. Yeah. YouTube they've affected my channel. I know they have, because I stand for the because I talk a bit outright. I talk a bit confrontational, because I get mad, and you know, I done one yesterday about Christian soldiers and warriors. You know, for the few that did see it, that's the way it's got to be. You know, not pacified weak men, but because I go on about weak men and men got to get prepped and keep in good shape and get your cardio up and all that, I'm just persecuted. So really, I don't give a shit about YouTube, and they could do what they like. Thank you, Sharon. You know what I mean? But, you know, who cares? You know, they could do what they like. I mean, even on X is policed. WhatsApp is well, they're going to watch it and do the groups, but that's living under a communist state. And that's exactly what's happening. They do something bad to us, and we're supposed to forget about it. You know, and this disgusting. Whatever you think of all these conspiracy theories that the Jews are the problem of the world, you know, they don't. People going about their business and living an everyday life, they don't deserve what's happening to them. And these are arseholes that are on the streets every other week, every other day, I should say, you know, calling out, and then you've got the white youngsters there and the women and the gays. I feel the despair thinking you lot are all going backwards. Yeah, of course, Shane. Everything is freedom of speech is gone. Democracy, our democracy is there, but it's ruled with fear. Everyone's scared of speaking, and scared of doing anything. As you say, you go on a platform and to do anything, and they just restrict it. My channel, it doesn't add up. Nothing adds up, and I always lose 3 or 4, and then I gain 3 and 4 subs, and then I lose 3 and 4, and it's up and down like a yo-yo, and that's how it's been for weeks and weeks. You know, I share it over to X, I share it here and there. You know, no one gets notified I'm on a live. Nothing. So I don't know who's lobbying the complaints, but one day I will find out, and then there'll be a day of reckoning for each and every one of them. This I would never do anything. I do not comply with this government. I do not comply with the king. I do not comply with the law of this government. I'm not lawless, but I'll keep in with my good old-fashioned Christian values and be a respectable man. Not this lot. They're just trying to gaslight us on the time, and totally. Oh, I find it distressing in a sense of they cause me alarm and fear, and I should be pressing charges against them. You know how a government can say it's failure to fulfil its duty. It's allowing the enemy of the states, and they're putting them up and paying them for to do it. Yeah, I wish I was there, Colin, as well, mate. So what you need to do is get a few of your pals around when you know it, when it usually happens, and have them all stay over, and then give them a very nasty surprise. You know, go boo. You know what I mean? But yeah, something's definitely done with my YouTube account. I know that, to be honest. We'll try a couple of other things. I put off a thing. I got a survey yesterday from YouTube, and I told them a tad what for. Then you got all these other muppets running around, and nothing's happening to them. And they say certain things, and how's that happening? You know, makes you wonder who's the grass and who ain't. So they're affecting you as well, Shell. Because I think if you come over a tad too aggressive on these platforms, I just think that's enough. Say the wrong words, that's enough. You know, it's just I don't know. I don't know with YouTube, to be honest. But I might do a little sly on them, and they're gonna wish they didn't. But I might do a sly and just open up another account doing something else, but still doing it, and just see how that goes. Because X, I mean, even X, if you say the wrong thing on there, they put you in jail. And it's definitely. I've noticed on my feed there's so many lefties now, and it's like it's like bots, and they're all doctors, all doctors. That's what worries me more. You don't mind having a Barney with the left, but all these doctors, are they just making it up, or are these real doctors? Because if they're in our health systems, we've got to get these guys out. Yeah, we've got 5 in the room. Yeah, everyone speak up, man. I'm lucky. Oh, well done, Colin, man. Yeah, you got to have your contingency plans and your pals to back you up. You know who's staunch. Right. Craig, who ain't got a song about this mob? I mean, you could write at least 14 albums on them. I mean, there's so many up there. So many of them channels are up, but they're still raiding them and nicking them every now and then and saying they're far right fascists. When the far right fascists, as the left, is socialism. It's that all that communist crap and all that Islamic shit that like little kids. But we had one bit of good news, didn't we? Well, what happened with that lead singer of that band? Hey, in Wakefield. Hey, good. He got everything. They milked him for every penny he had, and then they smashed him. And not in a nice way either, in a way that he is supposed to have been brutal by all accounts. Can't say it on here, but hey ho, I'll take that as good news. Yeah, they did, Cole, man. Yeah, they did get him. And it's just like they get some of them off from gang mobs and all that, mate. That's what I say. Because the jails, they ain't full of complete mugs. You know what I mean? All these weak men that convert and all that just for an easy time. Some of them, I must admit, are trapped and got no option and just pretend and just to get the easier lives. But the others doing it like that, they're just weak. You don't then weed them out and then we know who they are for when the time comes. Because that's how I see it. All these Palestinian mob, all these queers for Palestine, they're going to be first thing I would do if I had the chance. I would deport them to a Muslim country. Go on, go and live there and see how you crack on. Go and fly your flag and prance around on your gay parade and see what happens. We've been too bloody liberal in this country and we've got to start staunching up. We need a military coup, to be honest. Not calling for one, but it's like we need one. Proper military, not a woke military. You know what I mean? The proper officers, proper NCOs. But yeah, that was a good bit of news to finally get him. But they were taking so much off him, mate. Yeah, Sharon. They do that, one, because they're jealous, and two, because they're all sick individuals. So what? Geezer made a say. He says bruv all the time. That's what he always does. That's what he says. You're a mug bruv or something like that. It's just the way he speaks. It's your dialect. So I say certain things all the time. When I do my videos, I'm always saying, okay, baked. You know what I mean? It's not because I want to, it's because it just comes out. But in thanking you, I mean, that's quite a cool hit. I mean, the one time he replied, with his team replied, it's when I asked for a follow. And I think I upset them because he replied back, oh, this guy, how am I supposed to, I've got a million followers, how am I supposed to follow everyone back? But as I said, I go, you can ask a million people to donate, can't you? It don't bother you then. It's nothing wrong being a carrot cruncher. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's legal. I mean, I use also say to me, ladies in my family and friends, that deep heat Ralgic stuff is really good for pull muscles. You know what I mean? Just make sure the wind ain't blowing your direction, then that'll soon disarm them and give you time to get away. But our girls getting picked off in places like Rotherham, all these Luton, all these places where they're the majority now. They're blatantly in public view using and abusing the white women. I mean, and no one's doing nothing. It's disgusting. And this Labour has got to be dissolved and disbanded and described as a terrorist organisation because that's all they are. They're a bunch of no good for nothings. Yeah, yeah, they're going through Mamma and Tongs. They're going through Mamma and Tongs. I'll get the ones that are telling me he's a shill. I'm a shill, but he's on 10 grand a month from the Jewish Israel or whatever. I'm not on 2 pence. I mean, if they gave me 10 grand a month, I'd definitely be a shill. I could handle that. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, I'd happily. Well, yeah, I'd have tattooed their bloody Israeli flag. Yeah, anyone, and then you've got our own coming in going, he's this and that. They're just agitators. You've got to just tell them to jog on, or just go, yeah, thank you, or just we'll do another good thing to do with them as well, especially on X Sharon. It's just report them. You know, be nice and polite and watch what you say, and they always slip. The minute they do, report hate, harmful content, slopes and slurs. Bosh, report their account, and then keep doing it, and they soon get the message. But yeah, I'm under some state attack. They come in from every direction, and I think as well, a lot of them are disguised as so-called Arsenal fans. You know what I mean? And that hurts. That hurts. But keep carrying on. I know that when the time comes, Arsenal won't be followed by a lot of people apart from the woke left. Then, as I say, we've got five in the room. Yeah, so I will be. I'll be looking into things with you, Sharon, because them then keep doing this and doing that. You think, well, what's the bloody point? I put sort of time and effort trying to do what I do. Ain't the best of the best. I understand that, but you know what? It's totally demotivating to be always being like, "What? How's this happening? You know, how's this happening?" Yeah, can't just report them. Just report them, Sharon, at all times. Just report them. Yeah, exactly, Colin. Exactly. I mean, they're all the same. They give it plenty of money when they're hidden in their mum's bloody basement in their underpants. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to a toe to toe or a right proper face up, they ain't up for it. But you can't say that on the thingy. Oh, you have a meet and agree. But as I say to them, we'll have a meet and a greet, and I'll serve you a nice cup of tea and biscuits. People that know. But they're all cowards, Colin, every single bloody one of them. Many now have come in under Labour's watch alone of these illegal geezers. And this ain't including lorries, planes, and automobiles. This is just by the dinghy for a lot. Right? 35,000 people that we pay on a weekly to these hotels. The majority of these hotels are owned by foreign countries, foreign businessmen, i.e., in France. And they're like making hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds. Yeah, it's disgusting. You know, I won't say anything, but I know exactly what needs done. Yeah, I know, I know. I don't let it drive me down. I won't let the bastards grind me down. No, no, no. Won't do that. But it is a bit of a pee off. It's all the time. And it's like, you know what? I want to speak about what's happening. And I'm thinking of changing certain aspects of my account and see what's happening. Or if not, I'll go on another account and I'll go because I've got two birth certificates, so I use it as my advantage. And I'll go under another name. I'll let you guys know in the WhatsApp group, and you'll know exactly what I am. And then I'll hit it from another angle. You know, I've been speaking to one or two other YouTubers that are decent, that don't drop you like a rock when you get cancer, that are nice people, and they've told me that's how they've done it. You know what I mean? But to be honest, I think the time for talking is a long, long gone. I want us to all get regimented, getting in training and get organised and get bloody to work. Because they're openly on this TikTok, on their X, they're calling to unalive us all. They're actually saying it. They're actually saying they're taking over, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. We're seeing the harm they're doing. We're seeing the state of our places. You know, I'm not up for turning the cheek anymore, and I'm not being nullified with it. If it comes to me, mate, they're going to be dealt with the good old-fashioned way, old school. And yeah, I am an old man. Yeah, yeah. But I'll tell you what, for them, they're going to get the worst 10 to 15 seconds before I need a sit down, right, of pure madness. And I wouldn't want to be them. Yeah, you know what I mean? Just, there are, I mean, God. I mean, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. You know what? Wait till it all starts affecting them. That's, you know, at the moment, they're the ones that could bug out. They're the ones that can go and move abroad. You know, had some woman going, "Oh, everyone's, do the English learn? Do the British learn English? Speak foreign languages when they go abroad?" I've applied to her yesterday. Uh, Majority try to if they're living abroad. They do, right? I've lived abroad. I've picked up the lingo. I've done my best, right? But if they need anything or need to have to do anything like a hospital treatment, they have to pay for their own translator. And you don't see us rocking up on foreign shores, do you? Getting put up in five-star hotels, getting fed, getting watered, and getting pocket money and a free smartphone. No, you don't. Well, she soon disappeared. Yes, she's only an actress because she's a lefty, mate. Any decent actor or actress, they speak their mind and they get cancelled, so they just do it to keep stum, don't they? And that's weakness. But yeah, something's definitely happening to this account. Definitely. I'm not interested. To be honest, I've gone off a lot of people. I don't even watch telly anymore. I just go nuts. I've actually got onto a really, really good box set, guys, for a bit of escapism. It's totally brilliant. It's on Amazon Prime, okay, and it's called Blacklist. Oh, that is go go go. I've had a few nights where I've been up to about 2, 3 in the morning. We have and we've been Well, we've just been watching one. Oh, should we have watch one more? Yeah, go on. Should we watch one more? And you're like, oh God! And then you're getting up, and all day you're thinking about what. There's so many twists and turns, and I think the people that write it, they've got to be mentally ill, or they need checking from the neck up because wow, it's brilliant. Oh, man. But yeah, they're everywhere, man. Everyone's left. I mean, all the youngsters have been indoctrinated. Everyone under the age of 40 and that now are more or less on that side of thinking. I mean, when I went down to down south not so long ago, I mean, my nieces and nephews, a couple of them have got some warped ideas. I just stormed up and said nothing. Yeah, you got to watch what you say. You might hurt their feelings and they start crying and accuse you of all sorts, Craig. I mean, I mean, you got to, you don't say that on a platform because you'll just get blocked. You'll get flung off the platform because we're not supposed to be. You've got to be submissive to their ideas. You've got to be submissive to their narratives. Yeah, that's the problem, Sharon. I mean, they look at all your social media all the time. Facebook's old school. Just get off it. And that's one of the reasons I got off Facebook. You know what I mean? It's they're all policed. Everything's policed. I mean, like me, I'm unemployable, but hey, I can't work anyway. And before anyone comes in steaming in saying, "Oh, I'm a ponce" and all that, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I was nothing more I want to do. Ask the bloody doctor what they asked how I was feeling the other week. Said all I want to do, what I'd love to do, is go out with a proper gear on, like, and dig an hole in the rain, in the fresh air. You know what I mean? But when you lose a kidney because you got cancer, it's a bit different. But they still think, oh, well, hurry up and die then. Bloody wankers. No, Colin. You know what I mean? These kids have been indoctrinated. I saw a piece the other day there about young kids were being taught by a Muslim teacher that should be banned anyway. I mean, when I was a kid, they weren't allowed to bring politics in the classroom. But he said that they said about praying and all that to Allah and all that crap. And he said, no, I'm not doing that. He goes, I don't do that. I'm a Christian or I'm a Catholic. And they said, no, no, yeah, by year six, you're going to be a Muslim. That's how confident they are. And there are quite peaceful ones. And that's hence why I say they've got to go as well. You know what I mean? The ones that have been made themselves known and are shouting out about it as well. No, I leave. They've got a free pass in my eyes. But the ones that ain't saying jack and just letting it happen, they've all got to go. Every single one of them, top to someone goes, what about the national wealth and the care homes? They won't crash because we won't have them in them. We won't have them using our services. The amount of money we're saving translators alone in the national health. I mean, you go into hospitals nowadays, you find more sheets on heads than you do on beds. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Well, you've got to find out something about him and do it back. Yeah, yeah. Let us know. They're gonna let us know the guys at MO and that, and give them a visit. Nothing threatening, of course. Cup of tea and biscuits. Ones that, as I always learned from a younger age, man, it ain't the mouthy ones. You got to watch. You got to watch the quiet man, the grey man, the one that's just in the round the back, not the one that's giving you all the verbals. Watch that one that's saying nothing, because they're usually the ones that do something. I know. Well, our Prime Minister is a rent boy loving Mongan, and he shamed us all. He is a scum, and you know what? It's just- how I mean, India and all them guys are just entertaining him because they know he's an open checkbook and he gives out all the money trying to look cool when he's a prat. I mean, could you imagine all the money that he's given away to other countries? What that could have done and what that could have put this country? That's just in 12 months. You know what I mean? Cancelled everything. We've got food banks, we've got kids starving, it ain't on. We've got crime rates that are everywhere. You know, we've got to get hold of these kids, give them a right good telling off, make them serve hard time. None of this shit where they're in a nice carpet room with their cooking facilities, proper 23-hour bang up, right? Let them do their time and then they get a choice go in the army or you can go and learn a trade. They can learn a trade while in the nick. You know what I mean? Re-educate them because they've been doctorated, man. All the kids have. Yeah, exactly. It's all the taxpayers' money. All the money, all the national insurance I paid over the year, all the PAYE, everything. Everything is gone. It's all gone and bloody I like to say I live in a sort of area that ain't really been totally destroyed yet. But you know what? The roads are crap, infrastructure's crap. Nothing's happening. There's no work for anyone. All this AI is coming in. Everyone's getting out of work. You know, no one cares and no one's seeing what's happening. They just all crack on like little road belts. The treadmill of slavery. Well, I would call for everyone to just do a national strike. You know what I mean? Everyone. Just don't turn it. I mean, milk that system dry before they take all the money. I must say, where I am in Jed, the town nearest to me, there's only one barber shop in there, and I've proper vetted people, man, and they're all right. He's okay, mate. He's a good guy, actually. Evening there, English Rose. Hello, darling. Nice to see you there. But and there's only one barber. We was having this discussion, and he said he couldn't live in a city. He's disgusted with it. He's disgusted with it himself. And I told him that he's got to behave because I feel sorry for nice guys like him. Behave, do everything legit, and behave himself. And you know what I mean. Hopefully everything will be all right for him. But as you said, what would he do for business if all these other shops started opening up? The old town that I used to live in, okay, there's a shops there. It's about one, two. There's about 12 hairdressers, and that's made up Polish and Kurdish and Turkish um, people. Some of them, I mean, I know one or two of the barbers, they hardly ever open because they're totally out of their nut on the stuff they supply. I know, I know. I know all the money we spend on the hotels. You know, if we could get those old army barracks that are so sane because they shouldn't be put in there. Get them all rigged up and scoop them streets up of all the junkies and the alcoholics and try to give them a second chance. There's a lot of people that will take that. Okay, I'm an ex pisshead. It's fact, right? I'm proud that I am, right? But I've been this February the 24th will mark 19 years since the devil's buttermilk passed my teeth. Right? There's loads of people that would love to give up and get out of that rut. Okay. Now I have family members that have had the opportunity to give up and it didn't work for them. And they succumbed to it and they passed early and they died a horrible death. Right? And that will happen to some. That will happen to some. But the majority of them youngsters, all they want to do is get out of that rut. And then, and then once they're out and they've proved they're clean and they know if you're kidding or not, right? And then get them into a hotel. Don't throw them on the streets. All these poor ex-veterans, don't throw them on the streets. Put them in a nice hotel. You can afford to do it, so we know they can afford to do it. And I wouldn't mind the money going for that. Get them working. Let them have a little bit, like you can have 6 months in here. Build up a few bit of cash. For a nice bank where they ain't, or a nice savings account for them. It's organised by the people that are organising it, and let them start leading their life, and then let them, all this AA stuff. That all don't work all the time. When I was getting off it, I didn't want AA. I walked out of AA. You know what I mean? That was the biggest load of bullshit in my life. There's someone there that's never had a drink in their life telling someone that's drunk everything in their life, like how to go about it. It doesn't work. You need people with experience and know what to talk about to do that, you know. And I've helped people get off drink, you know what I mean? And half the biggest battle of that is you wanting to get help. And then when you do that, once you're free, like it takes about 6 weeks and you get this feeling. And it's like being let out of a cage and your new life, you're up. And you think, oh, I'm up at 8 p.m. I'm up, I'm awake, I've got things to do. You take up hobbies, you do things. I started getting a lot of tattoos. That was my mum. That was how I did it. That's what they said. It was they refused to tattoo me anymore for a while because I was sort of replacing one addiction with the other. And I did enjoy the pills they gave me to get off them as well. I got told off about that. But hey ho, that was just my own little journey. But yeah, we've got to get rid of the liberals. But I think the whole Western world at the moment is in trouble from this, to be honest. If you look at Australia, Canada, all the countries, they're all getting the same problem. But what they've got, like landlocked Europe, the biggest thing that they could do is let them pass through. And then they're pushing them through here because none of them are giving them what we give them. And you can't blame them, because if I was a young geezer stuck on a hill with a goat, you know what I mean, looking at the sun and the sand, and I've heard of this place that could put me in a nice hotel, give me food, and you could do blasé, I'll be heading. I am too, Craig, to be honest. I mean, I'm so ashamed of what's happening. I mean, my father was ex-forces. He got murdered in '88. But I found out who I really was and my history, and I've got actually abundance of military history in my family. And I've got uncles, grandfathers, and that, well, that fought in the First World Wars and that. And was it worth it? Was it worth it? And that weren't weak men, That was strong Christian men, strong warriors, not weak liberal buffoons that turn the other cheek. How can we turn the other cheek with what they're doing with our girls? Fratton and Portsmouth. Tell you, used to have right good firm in the day they did there. Colin, mate, bloody hell, had a fair few tear-ups with that mob. Oh, well done, Sharon, man. You've smashed it. You're 9 years now, girl. Can't beat me. But you've done it. You've done it. And isn't it wicked, eh? Isn't it brilliant? It's so good. And you can spot a drinker from a mile off, can't you? You know what I mean? When they're trying to hide it. And don't you feel pitiful? You know what I mean? But anyone that's ever on that and are in trouble, talk to me. You can always hit me up, DM me on X or WhatsApp group if you're in it. Phone me, and I will speak you what to do if you want help. If you want to reach out for that, I'm there for you. Oh, that's what my channel was all about at the beginning, that and the mental health, and get exercise is good for you as well. Vodka, but see, that's shown when I gave up the drink. I actually, oh God, I sat the wrong way. It's just my back, but when I gave up the drink, that's what they said. They go, luckily, because they give you all the tests, as you know, and it was luckily I was banging 22 to maybe 40 cans of lager a night in one sitting, and but they said because I weren't on the spirits, because I don't like spirits, never have done, can't. Ooh, you know what I mean? It's always been like that. And that's one of the reasons I didn't die and didn't have anything, seriously wrong with me, thankfully. See, yeah, I could agree. We've got rehabilitation centres, but I knew a few people that went into them, and They were in a place in central London, and opposite them was a load of pubs. I mean, they've got to be put out of circulation from society for a while, and totally do it. Totally do it. Go through the pain. You know what I mean? With the right medication and all that, you can't just stop drinking. It'll do you in, it'll kill you if you do it like that. You've got to wean yourself down with the proper meds. Well, that's what I was told by my beautiful Mary Poppins, that old lady that come round my house, man. Oh, God rest her soul. Oh, God rest her. She saved my life, but she told me exactly how it was. Oh my God. Hello there, Marcella. Hello, Marcella. And you're rocking it, girl. And what that reply that I put to you about that situation, be careful what you say because it's a life case. Um, you've got to ask for that now to be totally flung out, mate, because it is built on a foundation of lies. Oh, bless you, Sharon. Bless you, Sharon. See, I turned to drugs and drink because of the abuse that I was receiving off my mum. She was horrid to me. Horrid, nasty, beat me to within inch of my life, man. We will go, man. Definitely, mate. Next time I'm down Portsmouth, I'll hit you up. When I go to Blackpool, if I go down there to help do a paint job, uh, I will hit you up because I'm going to hit the road soon once I get some funds together. But yeah, well, that's what the therapist said to me because of my past life, and then I was in with the army for a while, and that was just drink, 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 and I just everything. But what I used to do is just drink to forget, and yeah, it worked for a little while I was asleep and pissed out of my nut. But then the things that I did was. I was a lunatic on drink, hated it. I wasn't like violent to my spouse or anything. I wasn't one of them, but it's embarrassing. And that's what shames me as well. When we're out demonstrating and I see people pissed, I think, like, can't you hold it down? I mean, if you want to have a drink, get smashed like this because it's the first thing they use against them. Yeah, Sharon, you just got to think now how you're the Don. You are the Don. You got to be proud and walk high for what you've done. Yeah, Colin, mate. Yeah. Don't tell me you're a plant, mate, because I'll tell you what, I will not take to kindly. It'll take about 20 old Bill to get me. I won't be able to run, so I'll stand and well, you know what I mean? I'll stand. That's it, Sharon. That's what you got to do. You got to throw yourself into things, get hobbies, try to keep busy, and don't think of the past. If you start thinking of the past, you got to really snap out of it. You got to really got Fido. I call it Fido, right? And it's called fuck it, drive on, right? Just Fido, you know what I mean? And say to yourself, come on, toughen up, you buggeroony. You know, but you don't ever need drink, you don't need drugs, you don't need none of that. You know what I mean? And just think of it. If not, Sharon, if you ever feel down, go and get your hair done, go and get your nails done, do something nice for yourself, treat yourself. You know what I mean? Don't get depressed. If you get depressed, there's ways out of it. You can always pick yourself up. You know, and I say that from someone I've been there, done it, and I've got the t-shirt. And if you lot all really knew my life story, you'd be in shock. You'll be in shock. But that's not for me to tell. As my pals say and my kids say, I should write a book. You know what I mean? If I wrote a book, it would be like, whoa. I'll be booking a train down there. I'm going to Fratton Park. When are the Pompeii on, Colin? Let's go down there. I just don't know who recognises me from the day. Chili helps. Yeah, yeah, Sharon. I get given medication to keep me calm because I've got an extremely bad temper. Like if I kick, I can't tolerate things. But as the therapist said, it was because I got brought up like a dog. That's exactly right. I've got that PTSD, bipolar, all that panali. But you don't dwell in it. You've got to try to get out of it. The doctors ain't there to help you. So what I do, I try to do exercise. And when I used to have dark thoughts, I got a special team and they gave me coping mechanisms. And the best one I learned, and I don't have them dark thoughts anymore. No, no, no. None of that anymore. Now I'm talking donkeys years ago. But they always said, like, think of the things you love. And I think of my kids. You know what I mean? And that's what I have done. And you don't you just got to think of the things you love. And then if you've done something stupid, right? And I know it's hard, I really do. But if you do something stupid, you think of the pain that you're going to pass and the misery you're going to pass to your loved ones, right? That's going to be an unclosed book. And that's going to cause future generations to suffer bad. So just don't. I mean, my aunties and that I've lost joy my aunties, my grandparents, all because of drink. I mean, all my aunties and nan and all that, they had bottles of vodka in their bag and hidden behind the cereal boxes. I remember as a kid seeing them doing that. You know what I mean? Most of the Irish in me, but I don't miss it. But I think I had an out of body experience as well. It was about 6 months, a year maybe, after I stopped and I liked Largo and I was having a meet with some people down in a place just outside Edinburgh. I walked into this boozer and the doors opened and when I walked in there, even the jukebox stopped and they all looked at me like, who's this? And I'm like standing tall looking back. But I'm telling you this now, it was like, I don't know what happened, but it was like all the drink was talking to me. All the pints were like cartoon characters with big frothy heads, all going, "Hey, do you want a drink?" And I walked straight through and said, "I'll have a Coke with ice." They were like, "You're not kidding it? No, just a Coke with ice." And now I can go into a pub. I don't want people not drinking. If you drink too much around me, I'll tell you, stop drinking. You're saying making a dick of yourself when the DNA starts flying around. But I can go into a pub now and I can still be the light and heart of the party. It don't stop me. Actually, I'm a lot better. My anxiety's more or less gone with that because drink's a bitch, man. It's been legalised by a government. Yeah, drink doesn't solve nothing, nothing. And then the worst thing was, Sharon, right? I was under the docks, I was under this psychiatric team, I was under all sorts, right? And they said to me, I abstained for a whole year. And they couldn't believe I didn't fall off the wagon, right? But you do so, and you've got to be in it to win it, ain't you, right? And I didn't want to drink. And they said, but you can drink socially if you want. And I thought, no, that's the wrong thing to say. I said, you shouldn't be saying that. And actually, to be honest, they wanted me to come on board, but I can't because of my past. I ain't got one of them where I've been in jail for whatever, robbing co-op stamps. You know what I mean? I've been put behind the door for violence, and that excludes you from a lot of things in this day and age. It's about fair enough. Oh, Craig, I know. I'm sorry about your mum, mate, but at least you knocked it on the head. You know what I mean? My mother, I don't even know if she's alive or dead. I've not seen or heard of her for 20 odd years. And funny thing is, I spoke to one of my nephews that keeps in contact with an half brother's son, and he does, but he's not allowed to phone me, my half brother. And if he's drunk, I won't speak to him in his drink because he sounds like a dick. And but his son does, and me and his son are all right. And he knew about the cancer battle, and I think he must have mentioned something. But then this is what my mum did, and this is what my girls. I'm so proud of them. They said, "Who's this?" That's what my youngest one said. "Who's this?" Well, because she's never seen my my youngest, never. And I said, "That's my mum." I mean, but I'm not going to do what my mum did to me and not let me know who I was or who my father was. And I said, "It's your choice." I said, "But I'm telling you this now, my darling, she's not a good woman. You know what I mean? She ain't a nice woman. I know she's getting on now, right? But she was foul. She was nasty. You know what I mean? And I won't want her. I don't want her back around me. But I said, it's your choice. It's your good nan. You know what I mean? And my daughter made my heart smile. She went, "No, fuck her, dad." And friend request denied. Then she just went and done it on my other daughter and then done it on my wife, sending friend requests. And I said to her, I go, if your son was fighting cancer and you heard about it, would you be brave enough just to phone him up to see how he's doing? No, not one of them. Nothing. Nothing. But hey ho. I've got more love of this of X, of you guys. Sharon, one, especially Sharon. You know what I mean? Who's in the house tonight because Sharon's been like a little rock. Some of the beautiful things she said. You know what I mean? I've had more messages of support from you guys and more support from you guys than I did from apart from my wife and my children, of course, and the new family around me. But the rest of them, nothing. And to me, that's shame. That shows that they're weak and they're pathetic and they're guilty and they're cowards. Yeah, once in a blue moon, a soft, partial, placid light hour ain't a problem, I'd say, if Sharon. But if you ever, that's a creep of a member. Don't let it creep up on you. You know what I mean? Don't ever drink in the house unless you're having a party. Just don't. Got hooked on Lucasade. I got hooked on tattoos and coke. You know what I mean? I'm all right, mate. I went on the scales yesterday. I've been scared to go on the scales for weeks, man, because I was worried. But I've been eating like an horse, and I went on the scales. And my wife, she done one of those things for me when she was at work. With my weight, I've put on weight. I'm eating well. Everything's functioning. Feel good. But it's trying to keep this head clear. That's the hardest battle. Um, I'm doing like walks, and not as much as I should do because I am a lazy bastard. But I've got my first scan on the 26th of November, and I'm still with the kidney cancer thing, and I've got to have these scans, and they go like every few months and everything. But to be honest with you, every time I have an ache or pain, I'm not lying here, I get scared, and it's because I don't know. I don't know. I've just seen so many good friends of mine pass with this, man, and it scares me. As I said to the doctors, I'd rather go out and have a tear up with a coach load of Taliban and get my nut kicked in. That would be a lot more. I could handle that, but that cancer, it scares me. I ain't ashamed to say it. Petrifies the shit out of me. But it ain't gonna beat me. There's no fucking way. It ain't gonna happen, mate. I've got my kids. I've got this, and I'll keep fighting. And I'll fiddle through it. Yeah, remember that when they used to bring the. Thanks for asking that, Colin. By the way, yeah, remember that, Sharon, when when you was ever in a hospital bed and all that, it used to be Lucas age with that plastic wrapping, didn't it? Yeah, that was good for everything. Oh, I got an headache. I got a broken leg. Bottle of Lucas to put that right, son. You know what I mean? No, it's a sport juice. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Cole, mate. I am keeping going, but I'd be a liar and a fool to say it doesn't scare me. But I tell you one thing, it did. It taught me who was real and who wasn't, who was a friend and who wasn't. The amount of people that were my pals who I'd helped out when they were in their hour of need, right? And I'm not going to rant, man. right, on their hour of need. And I helped them out financially, put things in their kitchen, done everything like that. And then they dropped me. They dropped me like a hot ball. Oh, I can't handle it. Oh, you could die, you could be dead to you. Like, fuck, you know what I mean? And I'm leering them. They're just total con men. And then I do an investigation on them. You know what I mean? And then, like, I ain't got contacts. I don't know people in the know. Yeah, all right. Yeah. I got addicted to the coke. Thanks, Colin, mate. I really mean that. I got addicted, not the cocaine, but the Coca-Cola full fat. And I was really eating it with ice. I just to have it in a pint, and I just drink liters of it. All right. Because it's like it was my substitute for that. I went to the doctors and they gave me, that checked me for diabetes and all that. And my doctor sat me down and he said, listen, Lee, he goes, mate, he goes, I'm going to put you on diabetic thing. He goes, if you keep doing what you're doing the way you're going, you're overweight, you know what I mean? You're unhealthy, everything. He goes, you've got to be a diabetic. He goes, and you'll be dead within the year. I went, what? And he said, yeah. He goes, everything you're doing. So he said, look, mate, you've got to cut out all the sugar and everything. And I knew I was doing vast quantities of Coca-Cola. So I said, well, can't I have it? He goes, yeah, I'll give you 6 weeks. He goes, I want to see you in 6 weeks' time. If nothing's changed with your readings, he goes, you're going on all the meds, right, to stop that, all right? And I went home and I went on to Coke Zero, right? And I lost about 10 stone, sat on the settee, just drinking Coke Zero. And when I went back, he went, he goes, what have you done? I said, nothing. I'm doing a bit of exercise and I cut out the sugar. He goes, your readings are reading like a 23-year-old man's. He goes, you're lovely and healthy. And we've never had that problem since. I really appreciate it, man. That's nice. So you know we're there, Colin, man, and you know, ain't you? You work out who your friends are. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. My old gran used to say, "Look after your pennies, and the pounds will look after themselves." But I've always been generous to people. I always try to help people out if I can. If I've got it, I'll help. You know what I mean? I've had times where I've given people food out of the freezer and that. You know what I mean? And people who are down on their luck and they're legitimate. I mean, I was a few years ago before my cancer. There was this old boy, and I'm in Scotland, and this SMP lot have got to go. But anyway, they're going to photo him in again. But this poor old boy, no one's doing that, and they're all tutting behind me, and I was right directly behind him, and he bought about 19 quid's worth of shopping. I looked at it. There was no fags. There was no booze. It was just food for this man, and he's counting out change, right? And the woman that was serving him, and the cashier, she started to get a bit narky with him. And then I thought, no, I can't handle this. And I knew I had enough. And I said to her, I go, I'll pay. And she went, what? I said, I'll pay. And I paid, the card. And I done the card. The old boy's like, oh, no, there's no need. I said, don't worry about it. I said, pass it on when you got it, sir. Right? And he's gone, oh, that's lovely. And he started to put the money in the tray pot. And I had put my hand on it. I said, no, you put that money back in your wallet. I go, and treat yourself. You know what I mean? Do something else with it. And like everyone was in shock because it was an Englishman helping out a Scottish old boy, but they still vote that SNP that are dangling that shite carrot of independence when they don't realise it never happen if they allow them in. Jeez, I like a bit of egg cheese on toast, darling. I'm I'm a bit part. I think if you stop the smoking and the drink, you're on the right track, and you try not to eat processed foods. I don't try to eat processed foods. I try to eat a lot healthier, especially now with after the cancer thing. You know what I mean? I want to stay all clear, and I just that's the way it's got to be. So I try to help myself. To say to the doctor, they go like when they used to say when I was on the drug, how much drugs you smoke? Oh, about an ounce a week. They were like, what? I said, well, you're my corner man. You're my cup man. What's the point of lying to you? I've got to tell you what I'm truth. You know what I mean? And that's the way it is. So, everything in proportion. Abuse it. Don't let it abuse you. Fuck's sake, Craig, man. Oh, it's scary, man. God bless her. Exactly, Sharon. Where are they? Exactly. Where are they? It's got to be swings and roundabouts and two-way streets, not one-way traffic all the time. I can't be dealing with people like that. Oh, bless you, Rose. That's all right. I am staying strong, and I'm always positive. Well, unless the Arsenal lose, but no, no, no. Oh, yeah, yeah. I've got to look out. I've got my girls now. I can't pass my shitty misery onto them and what's happened to me onto them. Thankfully, that's one of the reasons I moved to Scotland. You know what I mean? My eldest daughter is 27 the other week, and well, yeah, last week. I can't even remember. Yeah, last week. And my mum, last time she saw her, she was a baby in arms. I mean, what grandmother is that? You know what I mean? That ain't a grandmother. That is a shadow woman. And if she ever sees this, I'll say it to her face. She the mermaid. Stick it up your ass. Good, Sharon. Don't. Don't. The best way if you smoke and you want to try to give it up, do the dip and dab. I call it dip and dab. Roll it up like a joint, right? Space it out, and then go, right, and say, well, I'm not touching that for 2 hours. Go for 2 hours. You start get a bit edgy and all that. Have a have a dab. You know what I mean? Then leave it in the ashtray. Let it go out. Leave it for 4 hours. Then do that, and then you come to a time you go without. That's how I did it. Coca-Cola, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things with that Coca-Cola full fat. I couldn't stomach it now. I like a Coke Zero every now and then, but too much of that it makes me feel ill. So I don't know. I just have a fizzy water. That's my vice. Sparkling water. That is as far as it goes really with me. Yeah, when the chips are down and when the time when you need frontliners and you turn around to your left and the right and you find out there's only one or two people there and the rest have all buggered off, then you know who the real geezers are. That's it, Sharon. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You always keep looking forward and banking things for the forward, and just think of the money you're spending now on them. You know what I mean? I know someone. He gave up, and he was a heavy smoker. And he gave up within 6 months. He went on a lovely little holiday abroad with all the money. And I said, "How did you afford that?" He goes, "Well, I did. All the money he used to find every day to buy his 40 fags, he whacked in a jar." And after 6 months, he had enough he went to like Portugal or Spain or both, I think, for like 4 weeks. Nice hotel and everything. Brilliant. But I think he died of alcoholism. I'll tell you a story. As I said, Moroccans, Sharon, and I had proper fags. I used to smoke B&H Gold. I don't even know they exist anymore, do they? But I opened one up and I was sprinkling the tobacco out. I used to put it in a jar and then make up a mix. And I put it in, spring it up, and I found a bird feather. And the amount of crap that I used to pull out of those cigarettes, mate, and just bin them. Like, so one fag would end up being about half a fag. So I'd have to put 3 fags to make a one fag because anything that looked untoward, I can't be doing with it. I think people should get off that. I think that's another way of just killing us. Oh, lovely. How you getting on with your hip and that, Bose? Is that all getting better now? Yeah, and them noodles as well, them instant noodles. Watch them as well. We don't know what we're eating and consuming, Sharon. They don't give a shit, the corporates, mate. They don't care. As long as they're making their buck and all getting their dividends, they don't really care about us. I know. I know. But we smoke what we smoke. We've done it, Sharon, so it ain't worth complaining about. But yeah, we've got to do it. I mean, that's why cancer's not going to win with me. That's why it's not going to win. It's not going to win because I want to see my grandkids. You know what I mean? I've got to vet the future husbands of my daughters. You know what I mean? And that's a big, big job in itself. I've got to be around because I'm not having my daughters marrying any bastard that was like any of my uncles to my aunts. You know what I mean? Knocking them around and all that panarly. I'll put a stop to it. I will put a stop to that rather instantly. Hook or crook. Yeah, and happy birthday. Rose, I didn't even work that out. I'm thinking, oh, God, the shades. I've got. Oh, bless. Happy birthday, Rose. Oh, bless. Where is the coffee, Massa? I tell you what, uh, every now and then I don't mind a little treat of coffee, but I like a black coffee now. To be honest, those Starbucks and those other ones, they're just too. I don't know, they're too make you feel phlegmy. Marcella, you make me laugh, my little darling. She's like my big sister, Marcella, man. Oh, bless. Lee, think you've been cut off, my. Have I, mate? Oh, I could see you here, but if you can't get anything, I'm sorry about that, my brother. But please, if you can hear me, please go on X and send me your number. All right. And if not, wait until I put my email address up on the top of this profile. And then you can email me. And every one of you, if you ever need to talk or any speaking to me, you know, I mean, get in that WhatsApp group. Marcella as well, you in that WhatsApp group. Because if you won't get your number through um, through X on the DMs, and I'll put you in it, sweet. And hello there, Ohio. I can't bloody read that name. M14MW. I'll call you Ohio. How are you? My niece is with an Iranian and she won't listen to me. Stop talking to me. That's a shame, man. The Iranian guys, the guys I knew in the old days in London town were quite nice people, but they were proper Iranian guys escaping from persecution. But it should work out, darling, but don't let it beat you up. You can't let it beat you up or eat you up. Yeah. Yeah, I don't give a crap about what's in them as long as they get the stock to supply demand. That's disgusting. That's English Rose putting her fag out right now, going, I'm putting that, that's going to heaven. So how are you, Ohio? Are you okay? You want to take convert, whatever it is. I mean, is you got to speak to her old girl, and if not, if they don't see it, more fool them. You know, get rid of him. To be honest, if they're not married and he's into all that, get rid of him. I'm sorry, but I give no quarter to that lot. You know what I mean? That lot, that right wing lot, that racist lot, that Nazi fascist scumbags in my eyes. And that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to that. You know what I mean? Calling for the unaliving of people on the streets every other week, every weekend. It's getting on my tits. I'm back, am I, mate? Worse Yeah, Colin, you've got to get on X, mate, and do that. Send it over. So get the people we trust into the WhatsApp group. You know, spies shall be shot. You know what I mean? But you get past me, then you've got Sharon in there because she's admin, but she sort of runs it. Yeah, we're talking about gardening at the moment, and it's got a weird name, but that's for covert reasons. There's only a few in it at the moment, but we've got to. Good man. And Marcella, if you ain't in the group as well, email me your number, darling. I think I may have it. I may not. I might have your number, but I'll put you in that group as well. Okay? Because I want to know what's happening with you as well, Marcella. Sharon, that's between a hard rock and a hard place, that one. Sweet. Oh, love. But you got to, you know what? You got to reach out to her and tell her you're there if she ever needs you. You know what I mean? Shit. If I would say, if I said what I wanted to say, I'd be nicked end off on that one, Sharon. All right. But talk to you in the WhatsApp group or whatever, WhatsApp me personally, and we'll work that one out. You know what I mean? Because that greet and meet might be required. Bloody hell, Craig, man. You need to get on holiday, man. Stop all your shit and get fucking just take it easy. Yeah, exactly, Sharon. And Marcella, yeah, you're my darling. I was like, yeah, I'm well impressed with you, Marcella. I tell you, you know, well impressed. You've come so far since the first time we spoke. And wow, you're up there. Actually, I admire you for the way what you've done and how you're acting now, honestly, and how you're taking everything on. You're class, totally class. Don't mess with an Italian woman, man. Don't. I know it is, isn't it, English Rose? It is sad, Chow. But yeah, as you say, you got to be there for her. Sometimes some people don't know and don't listen, and then it listens, and then they come back and what can you do? I know he does, doesn't he, Shao? Craig, man, he needs a long holiday, somewhere safe, because no, and he's like, he'll slip up the stairs, getting on the airplane, knock himself out cold or something. Oh, bless you. Straight back at you, Marcella, babe. I really mean it, man. And literally reading through yours and what we were actually dealing with, because yeah, I do try to help patriot brothers and sisters, right? But going through all the paperwork, you know, all them things that you got sent me and all them actually helped me take my mind off a lot of things, sweetheart. So I owe you a big thank you as well for my moment of need. She's always been around Marcella as well. She's cool. And with that one as well, Marcel, I'm in two minds if help permitting. I might get down to your neck of the woods and actually make an appearance in there. But I'd have to put on a whistle, and I don't know if any. Well, I might try them on actually, because they should fit me now. Put on a bit more weight. So, oh, it's terrible. I've got a fat wardrobe, I've got a skinny wardrobe, and I've got a medium wardrobe. It's unreal. Sandra, hello, Sandra. How are you? It's great to see you, my darling. It's great to see you, and the same to you as well. So I've been here from time, as you all know, in the conversation. If you want, get on X or when I put my email address on the link above, or you know, on that description thing, because I'm thinking of changing that up a bit. To be honest, it's boring me, and I'll put my email address, and you can email me your number, and I'll get you in that group. Yeah, but Shaman, just cut out the carbs, man. Watch the carbs, man, and do a little bit of walking. Don't do any weights to do it. You'll do it. Don't worry. Stop thinking about it. Or gets totally stressed out about something. That's a good weight loss. the mind plays with you. You know, if you overthink it, that's what makes me ill sometimes. Overthinking what I think I might happen to me or what it could be, and then it's just your mind plays tricks. It does. Your mind's a silly bugger. But don't worry, Shall. Let me know what size you are, and I'll send you some calms down, babe. You know what I mean? Because it seems like you're an old mod gothic sort of girl, but you're a bit partial to some of the clobber that I'll crack on with. But yeah, no, I like some. I'm gutted on some of the clothes, but I've got those like those hanging ones where you just hang them up, and some of them are massive. And I've got like three different suits. One suit I can't wear, but when I was ill, it fitted like a glove. Then I got when I was better and fat, it was another suit. And then when I was leading up to the illness, I was losing a lot of weight, and I was in a medium. But I thought I was, losing weight because I was nice and healthy and keeping in shape. But how long I was? But yeah, so we'll give it another 5 minutes, guys, and then I'll call it a night. And then what I'll do is I'll might do a video, but I've got a YouTuber pal coming up from Scousland to come up and see me in a week or two, and we might be going and hitting a couple of demos or something up and about in Scotland, and I'll bring that to you guys. But Sharon, I went through looking for Katie Hopkins' speech, darling, and I couldn't find it on my cloud. All I could find was that other young lady's. But I tell you what, wasn't her speech a bit rousing? That Dutch girl's. Oh, bless your bones. Yeah, once you hit, baby, you know what I mean? But you got to remember what you did as well. I mean, on the 13th, turning up not long after the op, I mean, that must have set you back in your recovery a few weeks, babe. But you'll be all right. You'll get through. If you've got bulldog spirit, there's women like you that put the great in Great Britain, and Marcella and Sharon and Sandra, all of you, and Ohio. Oh, brilliant. I tried my best on that. But as I said, I lost the phone and I lost some recording, some mics. But luckily, I had two mics. So one mic got totally destroyed, but the other mic was all right. But the phone, and then I lost all the data on it. But then it was said cloud, and I went up and it was like taking loads. And I thought, oh, and I found a few things. But then, English Rose was there because she was stood right next to or behind me because I stole her chair, bless her, when she lent me her chair. Yeah, we all got soaked and it was hammering down. Yeah, do that, Sharon. Don't, you know what I mean? Every now and then drop something through or drop a little message saying, how you getting on? Are you okay? You all right? So what? You know what I mean? You don't like a boyfriend, he sends you bad vibes. Apologise for that. I just can't, I don't think about him. Puts me off. I'll tell you what happened, Sharon. It started raining. I don't know if Rose maybe has seen it, but I had a rucksack with me and I was throwing stuff in it and trying to get a coat out. And as I leant over, someone had an umbrella in front of me and a load of water spilled off of it and it went straight down the back of my neck, right down my back. Oh my God. And when I got back, I could wring out my socks. That's how bad it was. That was one tough day, wasn't it? But hey ho. Me and Rose got right at the front, didn't we, Rose? Sat there for about 10 hours, but we got there. Oh, bless you. So, as I say, guys, we're hit 9 now. Well, hey, nearly got double figures, 5 thumbs up. Well proud of it. Well proud. And as you say, everything starts in small. Well, that's my motto anyway, ask the wife. But yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm well chuffed. And as I said, there'll be things that I'll be doing. Yeah, you had a lovely spot there, all tucked in. I kept to the old rules, Colin and that and co. When I was there, I didn't wear colours. Didn't wear colours. No, no. I don't know. I think it's from the football days. We had a rule: you never wore colours. You never wore your colours. Then you could mix it up a bit. You know what I mean? But to be honest, I didn't really need to. To be honest, I don't know how I would have held a flag. And two, there was millions and millions of them. Oh, bless. Italian women are good women, mate. Sharon, they're good women. They're good people. I'm not just saying it because Marcella's in the room, but they are legitimately good people. The women are great and law. Done a lot of business with the Italians in the day, and they're always good. But there again, I've done a lot of business with the Chinese and the Cypriots and the Turks and the West Indian community. They're all staunch. You know what I mean, the only ones that I found out were unreliable, would try to skim, try to stab you in the back, grass you up. With my Brits, white British, they were the worst scumbags. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I was there. I was trying to do filming, Colin. I was doing my best to try to get some content, but that all went pear shaped. But everything I do does, unfortunately. But I gave it a good crack. You can ask Rose; she was watching me. She, you know what I mean? I've done my best, but you can't help it. When I just got compromised, and actually as well wore a jacket. It said waterproof. My ass. It was like it just come through, but then again, when the rain come, wasn't it? It was abnormal. I was going to take an umbrella shower, right? And I went there with my cuz, and he said, "No, no, I'll Bill and Nick take it off you and all that." I said, "No, I've got to take an umbrella. I can use it as a walking stick as well." And you know what I mean? And I play it on that one. He went, "No, they're going to take it," and I thought, so I left it. And you know what? That's one of my biggest regrets because they would have covered about 13 of us the size of that umbrella. It made a great tool as well. Uh, my peak was about over 20 stone, Craig, and my lowest was about 9. And that's when they sent me to the hospital to get scanned and that. And that's when I know things. Thank you. I've done my best, didn't I, sweet? I've done my best. I've done my best. And what I did, I had put it out there. Got a copyright strike as well for that. But I didn't know someone else singing on a stage. Just, you know, but hey ho. Yeah. Just getting paid a bomb. But yeah, as I say, guys, we'll give it a couple more minutes there. I'll stop this. But I can't believe how many you come in today, and I'm so happy. Yeah, thank you, I really mean that. Thank you to you all. And honestly, guys, hit us up, and I put my email number as well for the ones that ain't on X on top of me the YouTube description because I want to change that a bit. I want to change that up a bit, to be honest, and let's see if any. So I've got some things in mind to try to stop me getting, well, try to get me out of YouTube jail. But I will not. I cannot stop talking about what's coming. You know what I mean? Because it's inevitable. It is going to happen. And everyone that looks at me and thinks I'm a conspiracy theorist, you know what I mean? I weren't wrong about the terrorist attack after the Labour conference, was I? When I said they put a fucking target on all our heads. What happened the next day? You know what I mean? That video's still up. You see the woman's comment. It said it all. You know, when you get brought up in the troubles, you sort of know when things are going to happen. Yeah, but Rose, yeah, I will pull it up. Well, I'll tell you. So get a pen and paper, guys. because it's quite simple. It's quite simple. And I'll tell you guys, and anyone listens and want to send me crap emails, please do. You know what I mean? Go on, brilliant. This makes it more busy. But let us know when you got a pen, Rose. And Colin. Cheers, Carl. I know you are, mate. You sound like a staunch sort of geezer, and you do. Carl, I want to meet you, man, and break with you. Have a placid like Al. I'll be on the water, but hey ho. Exactly. That's why my fido. Right. It's all in low key, right? And one word. It's Lee Mead. MEAD. One of those fancy A's. gmail.com. So Lee Mead, all one word, MEAD, LEEMEAD, at gmail.com. Right, so have you all got that? Got it? Sharon, you're in. You've got numbers and that. Right, but my email address there, guys. Anyone's got problems? I'm confidential. I don't. I'm not gossip. I don't give on that, and I don't. Oh, buy me a coffee because I'm doing it. I don't need all that shit. If I can help, I'll help. If I know it, I know it. If not, if I try to find out, or I usually know a man that can. Okay, and that's lifetime experience. Hence why I never did long sentences. Okay, people that did are failures. Brilliant, Rose. Brilliant. Just send me a number and I'll put you in a group. Okay. It's not anything to do with being patriotic, the name of that group. You know, it's a very spooky sort of name, but you'll understand why. Right. But I'll say it once more. Right. All in low key. That's me being techno here. Low key. Right. It's Lee MEAD, one of those fancy A's, at gmail.com. And there you are. And I'll put it up there anyway. I mean, but that's it, guys. Get on there because you lot are like the good people, I know. Yeah, freaky people. That's it. Boo. But listen, guys, love you all. Good night and God bless. And if anyone's ever in trouble or needs to speak or anything, just reach out, right? There's always someone there. And if you're in the WhatsApp group, just reach out in there and someone will answer. And all stay tuned. I'll do a video tomorrow. And also, for anyone that's interested, I found an historic tree up where I live, and it's got a bit of a story to it. And I found how you can get to it, and I'm going to get to it and film it and do a bit on that for you, right? And I might be changing up the image, like the picture and that, but I've got to get some ideas, and it's hard to get this nut working. But I'll get some ideas, and I'll change it up a bit. But don't be alarmed, I'm not going anywhere. But not until they say I've got to go somewhere, and then we'll take it from there because people are not getting notified and all sorts of shenanigans with this account, and it's because I'm a bad boy, to be honest. Because hey, I believe in Christian warriors. I don't believe in turning the other cheek. You know what I mean? Love thy neighbour doesn't mean let them bastards smash your ass up, does it? You know what I mean? Turning the other cheek does not mean let them grape your women. No, it doesn't. So hence, Christian warriors allowed. And I'm not even religious, but I'll take that on and go with that. Right? So yeah, take care to all. I hope Starmer the next time he goes away. Make it one way. Oh, I tell you what, I hope he's well. Let's just hope. I hope there's an engine failure on something. But listen, guys, love you all, and I'm going on countdown, right? And yeah, I'll catch you all later. Stay blessed, and remember, always be ready for anything, yeah, and switched on, and try to keep in shape, and knock the fags on the head if you can. If not, dip and dab. All right. So take it easy, all. Love you loads. Bye bye. God bless. Oh, bless them.